Edit while do this.
I was eating.
Oh, I can edit.
Okay. All right.
Like I can edit and still talk to you guys.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Can you guys see us? Chuckster, you want to give me a thing in the comments? Let us know if we're live.
Yeah, you're live.
Cool. JVG to it, Chuckster. Sorry. What is up, guys? Everybody in the chat, thank you for coming. We'll probably be on for a little while. Well, Brandon will probably fall asleep on us, but
I'm here for now.
Yes, and we'll have probably a couple other guys coming in and out. We'd like to welcome Lawson. This is his first time really with us, and he's always been in the chats with us, but he actually gets to be a part of it. Have his face on the screen. I don't know if he froze again, but Chuckster, I don't think Brandon has slept yet, so.
Oh, let me get in the chat. Hold on, that's my bad.
No, you're good. He's just saying you look like you just woke up.
Dude, well, I've been to Memphis, Tennessee, which is like a 5 hours one way, rode the bikes in the cold and 30-degree weather and came back the same day. Yeah, I'm tired. Oh, then I had gin and tonic, so there's that too. That's probably why I'm tired.
So if anybody in the chat has questions about the Caribbean Challenger, me and Mr. Picasso have actually gotten to see it in person.
Yeah, hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
You're freezing a little bit on the screen, but I can hear you. But we were lucky enough to go see the bike in person already, and this is just, our normal Indian talk time. Chuckster, no comment. He asked if it actually looks like the other bike. It's definitely similar, but it's fucking way far from it at the same time.
Yeah, I can't. What are we talking about? The Challenger?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't. After seeing the Challenger in person, man, and seeing the little design things that they did to make it stand out, I can't get on that. It looks like a road glide train anymore.
No, there's so many differences, and it feels way different to sit on. Way different.
Yeah, like of course we know they designed it. They took inspiration from the road glide, but when people say it's an imitation or just a straight copy, that's just stupid. Because when they sit side by side, you can see the difference in these bikes from any angle.
Drastic difference.
Yeah, you can see it from any angle on how Indian tried to make this thing look different, and it definitely doesn't ride the same. Not even close.
I'm jealous you get to say that, and I don't get to.
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I'll say this. Even though I did get a chance to test ride it, and I'm glad that I did, the test ride kind of sucked.
They didn't do it as good as Big One, does it?
No, not at all. The length was fine, but I didn't really get a chance to. For me, I wanted to see how well it handled in the curves. I really didn't get a chance to do that, and I didn't really get a chance to do too many pulls on it. Because at Big Number One, when my uncle and I, we normally like to get side by side. They pretty much just say, "Hey, just don't pass the instructor." The instructor just takes off and does whatever he wants, and we just follow. But this one, they felt like they wanted us to be closer, so we couldn't really do anything. And plus, the freaking potholes were awful. So there's a lot of that.
Oh, hopefully San Diego won't be as bad for me. I haven't done that one yet.
But overall, I can say that the hype is exactly what it. I mean, everything about the bike is exactly what they say it is. It's a beast. It's a beast, and it reminds me a lot of the 109.
I'm excited because every time I've heard you talk about a powerful bike, you talk about the 109, and I'm like,
yeah. And I hate to keep doing that, but there's a reason why, because no American V twin has been able to top that engine, and that engine came out in 2006. So, now that I have something, that's why I haven't upgraded my bike, and that's why I got the Scout, because the Scout was close. So,
Yeah, once the bar is set, it's set.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jeremy, the Matt Laidlaw video he's asking about. I'll put in my 2 cents on it. Is as a business owner myself and taught by my dad, if you are worried about competition, you're not talking. Well, even if you're not, I mean, you don't talk about competition when you're working. You stay in your lane and you don't worry about it. I can have one business and there can be one opened a block down the street from me, and they'll be like, "Did you know that place is there?" And I'm like, "No." 15 years later, both businesses are open, and I act like I've never heard of them before.
Oh, so apparently they want us to talk about the Laidlaw Kool-Aid.
Can you hear me, Brendan?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, I'm just saying, as a business owner, I was like, he just gave us the 101 on how not to be professional.
Oh, dude, I told you I'm tired. I apologize.
No, you're good.
I'm so sorry. I'm out of it. But no, go ahead.
Well, that's. I mean, everybody can give their own sense on it. It sounded scared, and you can. All he did was give his 80,000 subscribers, if it's still that much, something to look at. You went, "Hey, go look at that," and they went, "Oh, what is that? I didn't even know that was a thing."
Yeah, I mean, I watched this whole video through and through, and I am not brand loyal, like most of you guys aren't either. You guys are motorcycle guys, but there was a lot of complaining coming out of that video, and if you got nothing to worry about, why are you complaining?
Yeah,
and it's just, I don't know, I just found it funny. Like a lot of his stuff that he was roasting on, what he called roasting, they were super petty, and I get it, right? Like
Right.
when I did my top 10 video of things I didn't like about the Scout, I was nitpicking for entertainment purposes, but yeah, like you don't hear Indian guys complaining Harley's gonna hurt this, Harley's gonna hurt that. It's all Harley guys complaining about Indian. But man, just ride your bike. Just ride your bike. Ride what you love.
If we're just looking at companies, was there a press release by Ford when the Camaro came out? I mean,
yeah,
the fucking Pony Wars were the same fucking car. I have a 67 Mustang. I'm not bitching about the 67 Camaro. I was like, Mustang came out in 64 and a half. Like, it's not, or, well, I mean, nobody should be complaining about the HHR or PT Cruiser stuff, but all these things get copied. I had a PT Cruiser. It was slammed, and I had the, like, crazy rat fink shifter, and
it was slammed.
Yeah, I'll send it in the Discord.
I mean, like, if who cares if the bike looks like a Road Glide? Who cares if it looks like a Goldwing? Who cares what it looks like? The bottom line is, in North America, there's 2 brands, right? There's Indian and there's Harley. All this is going to do is create this genre of performance baggers, and the only people who are going to benefit are riders.
Yeah, and especially the American market riders that want to stay with American assembled bikes. And
Indian's going to challenge Harley. Harley's going to challenge Indian. Neither one of them are going to want to get shown up. And so all we're going to see is more and more options being offered or coming standard to up the other guy, and they're going to put their best foot forward. Indian doesn't have, they can't sit in their coattails anymore.
No.
Which is not a bad thing. That's a great thing, right? And Harley guys should be happy that Indian's pushing forward and vice versa. And I'd hope that they would expect that their brand, be it Harley or whoever it is, that will respond with, their best foot forward and come up with these amazing bikes that we all love to ride.
Yeah, and I think with that, not only should Harley riders be happy that, first off, prices may come down. They came down in the FXDR and things like that, so that way they can be more competitive, because the CVO is the only one putting out those numbers, and it's in the $40,000 range, and that's just ridiculous. So hopefully they'll get more power to the prices. And there's so many people saying, well, we don't want that performance in a bagger. That's all I fucking see when it comes to the Road Glide is people building performance baggers.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, it's all over the place. And I'm just like, first off, you guys complain that there's not enough power. Now that there is somebody else with more power, like, who needs that? You just don't want to fucking admit it.
Yeah, I think I always need more power. But when you're dropping, at least I'm talking Canadian prices here, when you're dropping $35,000-$40,000 for a 114 Road Glide, and then having to throw another, this is an uneducated guess, but $10,000-$15,000 to get to a 117, 128, whatever your goal horsepower numbers are and cubic inch numbers, that's a lot of money, man.
Man, that's ridiculous.
That's a truck. That's a truck. That's a down payment on a house. That's something. Like, let's be realistic here. Like, we can get those numbers down and have an amazing motorcycle.
Well, and and of course, Indian's not going to want the prices to go down. They would want the market to stay similar, so that they're making money too. And I totally, as a business perspective, make your money. I get that. Don't fucking rate me, but make your money. And if you're getting us a good product, that's where it needs to be. In the last 2 years, I've heard of shit ton of Harley guys that have road glides, and they're like, "Well, the Indian rode better, but if it would have had a fixed fairing, then I probably would have went Indian, but instead I went road glide." Now that the option's there, there's people going, "No, you just copied."
A lot of money.
We did what you fucking asked.
Yeah.
I wish I was part of we.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, even if these two do battle it out in the next couple of years, like, the innovations are going to come through in just the aftermarket. It's going to be outstanding. Obviously, Harley has an undeniable king in the aftermarket world of American V twins, but I think people are going to be receptive to this new motor, and the aftermarket's really going to start hammering out some product.
Well, I mean, Harley's been around long enough, and no matter what's changed throughout the years, people know that they're going to sell items if they make items for Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
There's plenty of dealers because the dealers are everywhere. One of the complaints going on right now is India doesn't have enough dealers. So if you're planning a long trip, be worried about that. They're not worried about that. Hollister Bikes by Redbeard just got a Chieftain in with 297,000 miles. I was like, he posted up he sent me the dash showing the mileage.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, that's ridiculous. The miles are there. They're confident in their bikes. Every bike's going to have issues here and there.
Yeah.
Not good. I haven't really had one yet with the bobber, but
that's going to be meatball.
Like, straight up, like Lenore's bike, for instance, today threw 3 error codes on her Chieftain, and come to find out it had something to do with the kickstand. So this stuff happens. Like, all she did was reset the bike and it didn't do it again. So it's not a Harley thing. It's not an Indian thing. It's a electronics bike thing. Like,
yeah, and that's the other thing. People are like, I don't need these electronics. Take me back. Okay, we'll go buy the bike that's from back there.
Yeah, I actually want to make a video about that. About the whole don't need electronics and stuff like that. Because I actually asked the guy because he was complaining like he didn't want the new Challenger with any electronic aids. He didn't want the traction control. He didn't want the safety pack. He didn't want the ABS. I was like, okay, I get the traction control and I get the safety pieces, but what about the ABS? And he was like, well, basically, he doesn't like the computer making decisions for him as he goes in and out of curves as far as braking goes. So he actually manually deactivates all of the ABS systems on his Harleys. He wasn't ragging the Challenger. He was just saying like, hey, if I get this bike, this is what I want done to it. No aids. And I was like, I've ridden bikes with ABS and they've never intruded on the way that I ride in and out of curves. But I just think that's the whole electronics argument is a bunch of BS in most cases for most people. Because you can just turn that shit off in most cases.
Yeah, and a lot of them.
Challenger.
Now, if you don't want to pay for it, that's different.
I don't think you can turn off ABS, but I know you can turn off
all the traction control.
The traction control, yeah.
And base Challenger doesn't come with anything but ABS, I believe.
Yeah. Right.
And that's perfect for guys that need to get in the market at what's the base Challenger in American?
21.9.
21, so it's 27 for us, and the Dark Horse is like 36, I think. So there's a $10,000 savings there.
Luckily enough, my website changed, so I know it was 33 for you guys.
Yeah, so it's like that's a good chunk of change, right? $5,000 to
yeah. If you don't want all the features, you get all that performance for 21.9.
I'll say this: that Challenger is very close to needing those aids.
I would think so. And that was my thought with the bobber when I got it. I was like, you know what, I'll take ABS. I think that'll be a good thing for me to have.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, I've only been riding a year and a half, so.
I'll admit I'm not up to speed on all the specs on the Challenger, but I was reading on some of the Facebook stuff in the Bobbers owners group there, and there were guys ragging on the what's it's got that Bosch
The IMU system on it.
IMU system. Apparently had been tried before and it's faulty, and this one guy was just like,
oh, are you talking about the bobber owner group on Facebook?
yeah,
that dude is all over that shit, and I don't understand why. Because Harley,
the Ducati Panigale, I think it's probably the same system in the Panigale that works fine.
Doesn't Yamaha do it too? They got the ABS, like cornering ABS, so like it's. I mean, we've got cars that drive autonomously. We've got cars that will brake for themselves. How is that not possible to have in a bike?
I've never tested that shit out, but
well, no. Did you see the guy that did test it in the video? He didn't have.
Oh yeah, Sean. Yeah.
So that test they did was at Buttonwillow Racetrack. I've been there before, and you could see he sort of power slides through that turn.
He dumped it on purpose, obviously.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was
pushing it to its limits. Yeah.
He was showing what happens when you hit too much brake in a turn.
Mm-hmm.
And for Indian to put that out there, I think I saw Brian's comment like that's crazy.
Well, the guy said pretty good.
And Sean said he couldn't fake the way that he went.
That's one of the guys wrote in the comments saying it was CGI.
The bag couldn't support that kind of weight. There's no crash bars, and
people just won't take.
Well, I mean, we didn't land on the moon, so he could be right.
Yeah.
Right.
Fucking people.
Fucking stupid.
Hey Jay, you're Canadian.
Yeah.
But I get not paying for the aids because every bike that I've bought new, my M109 wasn't new, but it doesn't have ABS, it doesn't have traction control. The bobber doesn't have it. I got mine without ABS. My S1000 that I had, I got it without ABS. So I get the appeal, but I'm cheap and I don't want to pay the money for it. So that's why I normally don't get it, and I'm used to not having it. But when you start riding stuff like the FTR and the Challenger and these bikes that are making all of this power in these light frames, this isn't the bikes that these people grew up with.
Yeah.
These bikes are making so much more power.
Sorry to interrupt you. Is the Challenger frame, or is it like a stressed member like the Scout?
I think the bottom is stressed, but not the top.
I don't know.
No.
So, like the Scout, the bottom is all motor, but the top it has those connecting bars that you can take off for the air cleaner. So I think the Challenger, to me, when I see the Challenger and see its bare frame, sort of reminds like they took a Scout and a Chieftain and combined it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Is it how's the center of gravity feel? Is it top heavy or is it down low like the Scout?
I mean, Brian wrote it, but like just for me to stand it up, I didn't feel top heavy. I didn't feel any of it. The Road Glide, when I stood a Road Glide up, you could feel the weight when you're going side to side. This one, I just didn't feel any fucking weight. It was ridiculous.
I don't know how I'm not trying to hype Indian up, man, but I don't know how the hell they pull that off. Like the design, I didn't feel like I said this in the video when you see it tomorrow because it goes live, I think, at 5 a.m. But I said that I was not thinking of the weight the entire time I was riding the bike. Even when I picked it up, the weight was not on my mind.
Yeah, I stood it up a few times and it just went, what the shit?
Yeah, it wasn't on my mind.
I felt more weight on the FTR instantly standing it up than I did with this one.
I can agree with that. Yeah. It's like the way that it's like they I don't know. Maybe it's just a fixed fairing. I don't know how the hell I can't even get my head around it because that freaking tank is massive, man.
Before we keep going with the Challenger, because I know that's what we're going to. Jeremy's asking, any thoughts on Scouts leaking oil from, I'm guessing, the starter? I haven't had any.
I've never experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just running mine today.
I'm trying to think where the starter is located on the motor.
Dude, the vice president from the Indian Motorcycle Group at Redlands went with me to OC, and that dude fucking, I followed him out there, and he was running faster than I did for the amount of traffic, faster than I did to Palm Springs.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't
I
feel
didn't
that's,
wanna ride
I don't
with
feel
y'all.
that's possible.
Dude, I was fucking lane splitting at like 80, 90 miles an hour and like heavy, and I'm just, he's got no mirrors on his bobber, and he's just ducking him like next to cars. I'm like, fuck it.
I've been like, y'all, just send me the address.
On the way back, I was like, I know my way back to San Bernardino, dude. He got like 20 car lengths ahead of me before he slowed down. And I was like, nah, I'm about to knock these people's mirrors off with those fucking mini apes.
That freaking cheap, man. I was already like weary of like flipping somebody. It was like, this is how it all ends.
Open
Right
rotor
here.
said the starter's under rear of the engine. I have no leaking issues. I have a nice clean garage area, and I never have anything. I check the oil all the time. I haven't had any issues.
Trying to look up the Indian Challenger dash here.
So is open rotor too good for us? Why isn't he connected?
That sucks, Jeremy. Have you taken it in? I think we're gonna. Well, we could start doing Indian customer service too.
Did I freeze?
I can see.
No, we can hear you.
We all kind of stopped for a second.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the stream. What the hell? All right, cool.
I'm looking at a picture of the Challenger on the motorcycle. Go ahead.
My complaints with when I sat on the Road Glide, and I know it cracked me up for the Road Glide guys. I thought the infotainment center was too far for me to be comfortable all the time.
Right.
And yes, they do have toggles. So does Indian. I don't know where people thought Indian didn't have toggles. But it felt really far from me, and it felt like it was low. So I was just kind of on a normal bike, and I wasn't on a fairing bike. I always had that feeling of the Road Glide. I was sitting on top of it. When I sat on the Challenger today, I felt like I had a fairing in front of me, but not a big Batwing fairing at the same time. I don't know. It felt fantastic. I could reach everything. Everything felt smooth. And the stuff I didn't need to reach was out of reach. Like you wouldn't be changing the fucking adjustable vents unless you're parked. And then the bars, everybody complained about the bars, but I think those bars are great.
I didn't mind the bars.
No, and in person, they're not as long as they look. Like when you sent you had the pictures, or the other guy took pictures on Instagram, it looked like the tank was like this long from the gas cap to you, but in person, it's like that.
Dude, it's like the tank is sitting in your lap.
Right
like
lap.
It's literally sitting in your lap. But it doesn't feel that way though. But that's just what it looks like. Well, I'm sorry. It feels that way, but it's because you're sitting down in the bike. Yeah. It's kind of weird the way they got it set up, but
Moto Barista, I don't think the 116 is going to be obsolete at all. There's that market where everybody wants air cooled. The new 116 motor is fantastic. And super smooth.
They got the new 2020. They had a 2020 116 stage 2 there.
Yep, I rode one. That thing felt like the big bore kit, especially in sport mode.
So if I'm not mistaken, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was gonna say, somewhere somebody posted that Indian is actually supposed to be adding variable valve timing to the Thunderstroke to bring it up to code with Euro 4. So they're not getting rid of the Thunderstroke.
No, and that new 116 is like butter. I was like, I put out a video of it, and that made me still think that the Power Plus had to put out some serious shit to beat it because it felt so good, and it felt really good in the Springfield too. I think it added the just right amount of power for that bike.
Chuckster asked me Power Plus or the 116. So here's the issue. I talked about it earlier that they didn't really let us get side by side in the demo because the plan was to get side by side and do a couple digs. But if I had to pick, because I got on the Challenger, then hopped off the Challenger, got back on the 116, I would go with the Challenger. Because the Challenger, man, that 6,500 RPM, it's like the power band just keeps going, but on the Thunderstroke, you're always shifting it out.
Yep. Especially with the big bore kit.
I personally like the higher rev limit. And plus the torque curve on the Challenger from the what is it? The dyno run. From the dyno run, man, it shows that torque curve is almost flat, pretty much. So you get all that power, pretty much the entire rev range, all the way up to RP 6500. So I'm gonna go with the Power Plus.
Mud reset. I don't see Indian getting rid of it unless they get pushed out and made pretty much to do it by emissions, which are killing most of the market for what old school riders really like. I mean, I still like all the air-cooled stuff, but
they might. I don't know, man, because they got a lot of R&D in that Thunderstroke, man. They and plus the 116, man, it's like refined now. Like there's no twitch, there's no jitters. It's
motor.
It is perfect now. So I don't know. I don't think they're gonna get rid of it. Unless emissions make them do it, maybe.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could see is the Euro 4 in California destroying our performance market.
Somebody asked me the wind management of the Challenger. So I wrote in, here's the biggest difference I noticed on the wind. On the Challenger, I was in 30-something degree weather. I was fine. I hopped on a Scott Barber and I froze my ass off. That's the best way I can describe it. But I had the windshield up majority of the time. Perfect, no turbulence. As soon as I let the windshield down, it let the floodgates of hell in. So the windshield works.
Open rotor, there's room in here, dude. I don't know if he's got the
coffee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he just woke up.
See that morning face.
You sure, Brandon?
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, bud.
One of my goals right there, sponsored by Mountain Dew.
There it is.
You should put a Mountain Dew background up right now.
It's a flowing waterfall of Mountain Dew. That's what it is.
So it's gonna get copyright.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin's buying us all FTRs.
What?
Yeah, if he hits the lottery, I think that's a must.
Yes.
Yeah.
Canadians are so friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing. I still know the deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a question. I don't know where it came up. I think it was on our Instagram chat. Maybe no, I think it was on the Discord. There was that Softail with the Power Plus in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
We assume that's the Raptor. Would be the Raptor.
Was that edited?
Was that edited or was that an official image?
I don't know.
I think it's edited because that looked like the stock photo of the Challenger.
Yeah, that's why they put it.
I thought so. So I was wondering if that was a leaked photo or what. But
for people in the chat, we had a picture and it was the Challenger without the fairing. So somebody put like the headlight and the bars on. Granted, the bars look like that's what they would look like.
Yeah, it looked legit. I mean, it looked like a Photoshop to me, but it looked like something that could be real.
I don't know if at all.
Oh, there you go. Jay's got it.
Oh, there's got it.
So for me, it's got a Scout front end, and I'm not totally in love with the Scout front end. Like the light for me, I'm definitely in his new demo market, right? I like the hard styling of the bobber and whatnot. That's just me, but there's too much neck in there for me, I think.
Yeah, I think when that's why I really think this is edited.
You could be right. Look at that black space.
Yeah, because I think they'll change. I think they'll change a lot when they bring this over to another platform.
But I mean, that gives you a pretty good picture of what could come, right?
Have you guys checked out Kerry Hart's Instagram?
Yeah.
He has it fully stripped down. If you didn't know what the motor looked like, you wouldn't know what bike it was. Period. He's already got the exhaust mocked up, and he's doing all kinds of shit.
I haven't seen the exhaust, but all I could see was all you needed is like a subframe for like a pillion, and you got a freaking muscle bike, pretty much.
Yeah, I want to see it with a 240 tire on it, and my bobber will be in trouble. I can't be buying 2 new bikes, man. Indian needs to chill the fuck out. And all the other people talk like, I wish they would just have both. Because if I win the lottery, I'm not only going straight to Indian and buying my bikes, going and grabbing an FXDR and a Road King and adding those to my garage as well. That FXDR was just fucking fun. And
yeah, I wish I could have one of those, but my Harley dealership are a bunch of dweebs.
It's worth it. I did a stock FXDR, and which I think the Scout would be. We've talked about this before. Would be on par with.
Yeah.
But a stage 1 FXDR, no, that Scout's got that. Or sorry, the 114's got the Scout.
It should.
Yeah.
But it's not going to leave it in the dust.
No, but the FTR, my God, that will definitely beat those.
Oh, Dazzle beat Open Rotor. What's up, you crazy cat? It's all black. I don't know what's going on.
I have no idea. I'll be
That
back.
English accent.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you,
Turn the light on.
1 minute.
but apparently you got the California electricity going on.
Chuckster said
Ooh.
the FTR versus the 114. FTR will definitely kill the 114.
Oh yeah, because FDR has the top end.
I want to, Chuckster, do you feel like your 114 Fat Bob is faster than your bobber? Because I've ridden the Fat Bob twice now, and I don't feel it. The FXDR, I felt like that thing was a fucking monster, but I didn't.
I rode the Fat Bob once, and it just didn't do it for me.
But Jay talks about it, and he loves it, and I just didn't.
In the FTR.
No, in the Fat Bob.
Oh,
Listen,
the
this
Fat
is
Bob.
before-
I
I love the look. I just, Chuckster, you might have to come out and see me because I think we're gonna have to go for it, man.
I rode the Fat Bob before I even touched the Indian Scout, and
Same.
I thought the Fat Bob was like, okay.
Oh wow.
Now,
So I'm
Chuckster,
trying to think of I'm trying to think of how I got onto the bobber, and because I had my Shadow before, and then looking to turn that to a bobber, and then I saw the Harley Fat Bob, and that was. I loved the look of it. Loved the square head, the rectangle headlight, and then that's how I got in the Indian bobber. So I rode the Fat Bob first, and that bike, I just couldn't swallow the $30,000 price tag.
Well, see, here's the thing, because I made a video a while back after I bought the Scout, saying how the Scout was better than the Fat Bob, and basically when I ran the numbers on it and I determined what the power to weight ratios were.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the Scout had less power than the Fat Bob, the Scout's weight made up for the difference that the Fat Bob had, which gave it a better power to weight ratio. Which meant that pretty much in a quarter mile, the Scout would pretty much run with the 114, if not beat it.
Well, I think mine tune will beat the Fat Bob because when I went to Riverside Harley Davidson and did the demo rides, finally I got behind a good guy to take us out. And he let me get on it, and I felt the power, but I wasn't holding on. My bobber makes me want to fucking, after the tune especially, want to shit myself.
Is it because of the seat?
Chuckster, I don't have to shift until like 90 miles an hour. When I'm in second gear, I can go all the way to 90.
Yeah.
Well, I usually shift still around 70 or 80, but I'm on it, man.
All years.
I'm getting on the freeway by the shop, and I'm at 100 miles an hour before I get to the end of the off ramp.
Hey, that's illegal, man.
In Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah, that's the Scout. The Scout's like the 109 because I think in second gear I can get to right around 90 or 100 or something like that, which is freaking crazy. Like you snatch like that in second gear, you're like, oh, well, there's 90. That's reckless endangerment.
And Chuckster, that's exactly what I mean with the higher RPMs. Is it's got all that power, and I don't have to shift for a long time. So the 114 you do, it felt torquey, but it just didn't. I still tuned bobber, not stock bobber. I noticed the difference when I rode that bobber 20 that it like the power was being held back.
Yeah.
I really knew the difference now because I rode even with just the Indian intake and the 2-in-1 exhaust from Indian, that new bobber felt great. It didn't feel like mine, but it felt great. We talked about the Matt Laidlaw roast earlier in the video, and how it was just highly unprofessional. We got to get that conversation out of the trash can.
Yeah, it was a trash conversation.
I think I watched about 2 seconds of it and realised what it was. It's basically a Harley dealer just roasting another brand because he's scared. It's what I got.
That's what I got too.
I'm sure I missed the start of this because
Oh no, man.
I'm sure you saw that.
We want to hear yours too.
I'm looking at the
Well,
video
I've
right
got a
now. Oh, sorry, Daz, you go ahead.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, I ain't really got a lot to say about Matt
No.
Laidlaw. I think it is what it is, isn't it? It's everyone's entitled to their opinion, but you know,
Yeah,
it just.
I'm
Sorry,
looking
mate,
at his
go on.
video right now, and he's got just under 120,000 views,
Yeah,
with
I think
quite a few comments, like over 3,000 comments, and a lot of it is just his own guys just being like, "What the fuck, dude?" I mean, you get the odd guy like, you know, their go-to is like, "Oh, I would be caught dead on a Polaris." You're like,
so dumb every time.
right? I'm like, okay, sure,
If I could punch a voice, it would be Matt Laidlaw's voice in that video.
yeah,
Not him, but if I could punch his voice, it would be in that video.
yeah.
And so people were saying in the comments earlier, like I didn't mind his stuff before. I watched it, like I wasn't actually subscribed to him, but he did the Harley like event where they're showing off the mock-up of the new fucking sport bike that they're putting out, which apparently is not a copy of any other bike because Harley doesn't copy.
Of course not.
Oh man, shoot! If we like somebody, the video I put out about the freaking Challenger,
Your
I
other
got
one?
so many comments. Oh my god! About
I keep
freaking
going back and
Corolla.
reading them. They're so
And
fun.
like somebody, I'm gonna show you the most recent comment. Well, somebody was like, "Oh well, HD should sue the heck out of Polaris or Indian," and I was like, "Well, Honda should come back and get back pay for Harley stealing the design of the damn fixed fairing from the Gold Wing." If we want to really be specific about it,
Nope.
like Harley didn't create the fixed fairing.
That must be Lawson.
Not me. No
With
pole
the
in
train?
today.
Oh, that's me. That train's me. And the worst part is, it sounds like it's right next to me, but it's about a mile and a half the other way. But it echoes like back off this section. And I'm not closing the windows for you guys because this room gets stuffy and hot, and I've had a long ass day, and I don't want to get rid of my air.
We've got the windows closed and a fire going, man. What are you talking about?
Fucking Canada.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What temperature is it there at the minute, Jay?
It's so right now it's probably about 4 or 5 degrees, so that's what, like low 50s? No, low 40s.
I was like, we're 54 here right now.
Yeah. 54 and you got the windows open?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Hey, I'm chill
Crazy.
when it's like this. I got one window open. It's not going all the way through this little room.
It's beautiful today. It was like up to 15 degrees. That's, I don't know, low
But
60s.
I got
good.
my thermals on under my jeans. And
Yeah, same. Full thermal now.
That's current.
6 degrees. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say and I've been holding off till I can get some riding time on it, which I've got now. But the heated Corbin seat is amazing.
yeah.
Heated
Yeah.
seat.
Oh,
Oh.
buddy, it's so
you
good.
got money.
I liked it.
He had a custom too because they weren't doing that just from the.
No, they don't offer it in the Brave.
I love that seat, man.
Yeah.
I'm spoiled with that seat because I rode the tractor seat and I felt like I was this like super tall on the bobber. And I was like, no. I was like, I'll go back to my seat. I probably would have bought that new comfort seat though if they would have had it out when I bought the bobber.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. I probably would have too, to be honest, because I really like the look of the stock bobber seat, and I didn't really want. That's why it took so long for me to dive into it. And then Corbin came out with the Brave, and obviously I like that a little bit better. But
I like the look.
that stock I like the look of the stock seat.
I did, yeah. This new one fits that area. Plus, it's comfort wise is great. It's super cushion. We went on the bumps on our normal route, which there's a good amount of little bumps that you feel, and I was like, okay, I didn't notice them. Stock suspension, cool. Went back out on the Barber 20, and I thought I was gonna it's in my video today. At the end of the video, I'm like, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking die on this seat.
I did that on the Scout. It was pretty gnarly.
I even said in the video though, I was like, go if you want this style seat, go check out Meatball's video because he found a good option for you.
I felt like I was getting PTSD riding on potholes again. I was like, oh no, here we go again. Like, I was like, oh no.
Clinch. You start feeling your wrists get all tight. Like,
yeah,
no.
It's already cold. I was like, oh no, about to wreck these people's bike, man.
Sopascast, is that how you say it? I was like, hopefully I'll be at the Long Beach show on Sunday and take the family, so I won't be doing a whole lot there, but still check it out.
What it says, Lawson's mic not working. No, Lawson's just soaking it all in, man.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm about the only one that doesn't have anything to say about the Challenger right now. I kind of avoided it after the first 2 days.
There was so much shit, man. And most of it was just pointless. I dug into that damn thing today. I had my hand all the way in the cubby. I reached
It's like a cave.
Yeah, and I couldn't get. There was a USB in the stuck. That's the only thing. Like, if you got a bigger hand, you're gonna have a hard time getting to the very end of it. But then I reached down in the fairing and I opened up. There's little air vents that you can adjust, and I was like, "Look at that! It looks like a fucking door." And I grab it and pull it open, and it was cool.
Yeah. So the cubbies we were talking about, guys, are the little pockets under the speakers that you can put like your phone in and stuff. They're like super deep.
Yeah, they're nice.
And they're weather sealed.
Weather sealed. They had that they come up slowly and everything. They're not just like you don't have to hold.
No, they got they have like a rubber gasket around them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess to keep moisture out.
Are they similar to the you got the lower fairings on the Roadmaster with the two cubby holes in? Similar sort of size to that?
Maybe a little bit smaller this way, but like deep.
Right.
It goes down into the fairing, and on the right side it has the USB plug for the infotainment center. I'm wondering if on the left side, because if you go under the cubby on the right, there's buttons for your locking gas cap and bags, and then on the other side there's a spot that looks like the button, but it doesn't work. So me and Brett today were thinking it's going to hopefully be for like garage door openers, to put in a button there.
Oh, that is not.
I heard I want to say the guy, he said that and heated grips if you want to add them on there.
Oh, okay, that would make sense.
Yeah, heated grips.
And I can see that happening first because more people do that than they do the garage door opener. Because you can throw the garage door opener.
I think both are used for it though.
A lot of people want heated grips, heated seat, and touring pack already. And they're asking why that hasn't happened. I'm like, just let's be lucky that we're not waiting 6 months to see this in person like we did the FTR. It's here. Let them build the packs and all that shit on the side, and we'll be fine.
Now, there is the question. Now, the demo truck guy said that he thinks that the ones that are existing can fit on the back of the Challenger.
No. The Indian rep the guy told me today that the spools are supposed to be different, and because everything's about half-inch narrow.
Okay.
That's
but
what
he did say if they didn't, he said he will wait about a year for Indian to get them out, the tour packs.
See, I think what they're going to do is it probably would be a year. I could see them doing that, is bringing out the Roadmaster version for Challenger. Like they'll maybe a different name, something like that. I totally threw out to the Indian rep today too. I was like, you guys should call it the Hyundai, just to go after that. And his face kind of lit up, and I was like, you're going to steal my fucking idea and take it to corporate.
What's the idea? What, hide those wires?
Oh, no. That I'm totally still on for the Dark Horse Roadmaster. No, I'll call him the next bike Hyundai, after the creator of Indian. Or Hindi, however you pronounce it. I'm bad with this.
What is it? How was the handling, low speed maneuvering of the Chieftain versus the Challenger?
It's all you, man.
Well, see, the Chieftain that I had the mid risers on it, so you're more kind of upright versus the down position of the Challenger. I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Challenger was easy. as far as if I'm picking the two bikes that I actually rode. I mean, that's not to say the Chieftain isn't a bad handling bike, but
No, I thought it was great.
their bike, I guess I can't really compare them because the mid risers make the bike feel more stiff when you're turning.
Yeah, I can see that, like, because you have a different body positioning.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I think the Challenger is an easy bike to ride. I'll say that. I think a lot of people are going to find it very, very, very easy to ride.
Jeremy, actually, I did a video a long time ago about when they did the 2019 Chieftain, and I think I said they should call it the Warhorse. I hate to say these words, but in this PC culture, they're trying to stick with what's already been done, and they're just trying to keep their own stuff going. Besides, apparently, taking it from Dodge. So that's the big reason that Indian is trying to be polite and keep things going and not be what's the word I'm looking for? Racist. So apparently.
Yeah, somebody asked me about that actually.
I've heard stories, and I'm not going to tell like who said stories and stuff, but I've heard of dealers getting in massive trouble for different headdresses and stuff that they shouldn't be having in there. That's not actual Indian brand stuff.
Yeah, somebody asked me if anybody thought about if Indian should be paying for Indian reserves or something. Like, should Indian companies should be paying, like giving a part of their funds or their profits to Native American reservations? I was like,
I think they sort of do. I think that the one of the nations actually has the rights to the war bonnet logo, and I think they do pay an amount. I don't know what the amount is. I think they do pay to use it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I really didn't have an answer. I don't know anything about it. I was just like, huh. For a conversation, I really don't know.
Yeah, you have the sports teams and everybody out there out doing all that shit. So, but same thing, they're not pushing the narrative as much as they used to. So everybody's trying to go into that PC world.
It sounds like they're just keeping the name.
The name, like the Scout stuff that was already like big for the company, and just keeping it going. I have a question for everybody. Did anybody ever actually give a shit about the early 2000 Indians?
No. Cool. I didn't really know what Indian was until 2000.
I saw a 2002 bike today at Indian OC, and it was a clean bike, but I wouldn't have gave it really a second look. And I had somebody leave a comment, and they're like, "Indian hasn't been the same since then." I was like, "What the fuck are you even talking about, dude?"
Kawasaki did a better job at the Indian in the early 2000s.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely with you there, Lawson. I was about to say the same thing. I thought their Drifter was an awesome bike. I'll tell you, I have to put my hands up. I think it's wicked. I would still have, if I had the money for right now and I found one at a decent price, I'd have one as a winter ride. One of the Kawasaki Drifters. And I'd matte black it so it looks like a dark horse and debadge it completely and just confuse the hell out of people.
I think I know what you're talking about. I saw a video on that.
I think that you had the VN 800 and the VN 1500. They're both called the Vulcan Drifter, and they're actually really good bikes. They are good bikes. But I think they did a really good job of that. But obviously, it was an homage to Indian rather than being a I don't know. You call me cynical. You could say it was an Indian copy, but it was. But at the time, no one was really mass producing Indians, so
yeah,
they could get away with it.
They did.
And they did, yeah.
I don't know that one, Jeremy. Twin Cities, Indian, and Minnesota that has a ride every year that goes legit powwow.
What was that Dirty Bird Customs that got a little cringy there?
I talked to the Indian rep guy about that today. He's like, "Yeah, that's the shit we try to stay away from." And I was just like, yeah, that makes sense, because when you have a big white dude saying that shit, how? And we're like, what the fuck are you doing, man? I'm not in that culture, and I still go like, oh, okay, you might want to chill the fuck out, because people will tear you apart. And they did. And you had to disable the comments.
Yeah.
What?
Crazy.
What are we talking about? The Matt Laylaw video?
No,
Dirty Bird Customs.
What did they do?
He made an exhaust for an Indian and called it the peace pipe. But when he first started the video,
Oh God!
he was all, how? And he's all, we're calling this our peace pipe. And then he had to disable the comments because everything got so fucking bad in there.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's good times. Good times we're living in.
Okay,
That's
so
pretty-
with this new motor coming out, the Power Plus, obviously it's already come out in the Chieftain. What other models
Challenger?
do you think? Sorry, thank you. What other models do you think would you like to see Indian put it in? Or what new model should they come out with this motor?
I would like to see a power cruiser. I'd like to see something with a big chunky rear tyre, naked.
Yes.
Something that basically replaces the Hammer S in the Victory lineup.
So something that's going to make me have to get rid of the bobber and spend more money.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
There's still a lot of people who've got a lot of love for the Hammer, the Victory Hammer, and I think that if Indian came out with a big fat, 250 section rear tyre on
Yes. Yes.
low, I think a lot of people would go for it. Similar to the 109 in it, Brandon. It's I think. What do you think? You've ridden the Challenger now, the Power Plus. Do you think that sort of bike would work with that engine?
It would bring many people into the platform with that setup. I think
What
it
is
would be ridiculous.
What is this displacement of the M109?
1793,
And what is the red line of it?
7500.
And it is a liquid cooled or air cooled?
Cool.
Cool, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the motor is there. It's that's it. They just got to put it on the chassis.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Slap a fat towel on the back, call it a day.
I'd buy.
That's it.
You said they have. Did the
go ahead.
M109 stop? They haven't brought out a new M109, right? Or just not a new variation of it?
No, man.
Same
bike.
Europe.
How many bikes are really in that category then, would you think?
You got
The
the
FXDR,
M109, FXDR. If we're gonna count all the bikes, I'm gonna count the V-Rod. Technically the Breakout, kind of.
So Breakout and FXDR maybe the only ones being made currently?
I'm gonna say the 2020 Custom by Harley that's coming out.
I feel like that's a jab for the bobber.
The 2020 Custom?
Yeah. Just the first look at it.
It might be, because I want to say it's supposed to have like a 1200 or something like that in it. But
well, it'll have like
you
the
got
shape and everything else. Just the
you got the Rocket 3. The new Rocket 3 is supposed to be a muscle power bike. You got the XD Oval. I think that's it.
What about the
I guess you
VMAX?
can count the VMAX maybe, but
I was reading on motorcycle.com that with Euro 5 regulations coming out 1st of January for new models and 2021 for current models, a lot of that sort of bike will probably be discontinued. I think this is your last hurrah if you want a VMAX in the US. It's already been killed off in Europe. But
yeah, I think so too.
that'd probably be the end of the 109.
Yeah, the 109, I think they've already discontinued it because of Euro 4. What I think they're going to do with that bike, man, is I think they're going to turbocharge it at some point, and they're going to do that engine. But it's not going to be making like crazy power. Suzuki has like these new patents that came out like a year and a half or 2 years ago they're supposed to be turbocharging bikes to try to keep up with Kawasaki. You know, they got the supercharged Ninjas now. And there was a patent that came out for a new muscle bike V-twin that had a turbo strap to it. So I don't know, but there's a market for the dang things. They sell these things like crazy, but I don't know. I want to see Indian make one.
Yep. Especially that motor.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel great just with the bobber motor alone. I couldn't imagine that one in a naked bike. And tuned once they fucking get their hands on this bike. Should be insane.
Which you know that they've already got. You know they've got their hands on one.
Yeah. I mean, Lois has been quiet for the past few weeks, so.
Well, they were one of the first ones to be like, "Hey, come on down, let's take deposits, let's do this."
Right.
I'm like, Lloyd, where's yours?
Hartlook was like, "Look, I got it. I got my Challenger." Lloyd hasn't entered the chat yet.
I'm excited to see what they do, though. Oh, man.
I have not spoken to Lois about the 108 yet. They might. I doubt they tell me anything.
Yeah, not until they're more. Well, what do you say with even like the bobbers? They couldn't run them through enough to go.
I heard nothing about the bobber. I know that they were doing something about those cam profiles, but I heard nothing else from.
The problem with that now is he's going to be so excited about this 108 that the bobber is going to be like old news to him.
That bobber ain't getting shit.
No, that bobber ain't getting shit.
108 getting all the love. Just getting all the love from fucking me right now. So.
Yeah, that's all she wrote for that one. I think we'll see, but I'm very keen to get on this Power Plus motor.
Yep. I'm excited. I'm going Wednesday morning.
And it's a demo ride?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
My dealer was like, "Why the fuck are we not getting them?" And apparently San Diego has a giant like Navy thing going on where all the guys are coming in right now. So they were like, "Well, San Diego Indian's there, so we're gonna push this bike out in front of all of those guys," which it's very smart marketing. So.
You know what I heard?
What'd you hear?
I heard that the dealerships actually, and I don't know if Daz can comment on this or not. I heard that they actually pay Indian to bring those demo trucks there.
It probably might work different in the US, but certainly when for the last 3 years we've had to pay for the trucks to be there in the UK.
Right.
But when I started working at the dealership, when it was Victory and Indian, they used to come around. They used to pay for it in the UK themselves because there was only like 8 dealers. Now there's still only about 16, 17 dealers in the UK, but they can't afford to go around and do it for free for all of those dealers. So if you want that truck there, you do have to pay for it in the UK. But it sort of makes sense to do it if you've got the right sort of dealership for it. I mean, the dealership I work on, it's sort of on a road. You haven't got a lot of off-road parking. It's a small dealership. So there's not a lot of places where you can park a articulated truck full of bikes and offload them in stillages and all that.
Yeah, I heard that from one of the sales guys because I was trying to get a test ride, and they said, "Well, it's not up to us; it's up to Indian." And he was like, "We pay for them to be here, and it sucks that we can't get you guys on these bikes to test ride them because we pretty much wasted the money." So I was like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys actually paid them to be here," and that's how that all came about when I tried to ride the Challenger a couple days ago. But now you guys know in the comments.
When I did my Indian test ride in Vancouver, I don't know, five months ago, whatever it was the Indian. He was the driver of the truck, but he was running the show. It wasn't the dealership.
That's how ours is. The the main guy that rides the truck, he goes actually from Tucson, where Dan is, to us, to Vegas, all over. And he runs the show, but they have the dealer involved with doing the routes and all that stuff. So the dealer has to give people like volunteers to help do the ride, but he runs the show other than that.
Yeah, he calls it, because that's what happened to us. Was it rained and I wasn't able to ride, but the dealer was like, hey, like, you know, these guys, well, whatever the story was, and the guy was like, yeah, it cleared up enough that we went on a little private ride after hours, which was pretty cool. But the dealer had to convince him pretty hard to let us go.
Sounds like it works the same as it does over here in the UK. I mean, the other thing is once the bikes become freely available, and you'll end up with bikes in stock, and some of those you'll be expected to put on yourself as demonstrators. You just won't have a whole fleet of demos. You know, you'll have things like the new model, the new models that are out, and key models put on for the year as demonstrators at your own cost.
Yeah, at our dealer, they put out 1 year they put a Chief out and a Scout that wasn't on the truck. They didn't even have the regular Scout, but people wanted to try it with different options, and they brought it out for one of the ladies with extended or reduced reach. So they brought out their own floor bike to do it, or they brought out a couple of rentals the last time, because our dealer does rentals now.
Oh, sweet.
I have to address one comment. I work for a dealership that sells Indians and other manufacturers as well, so I don't have the ear of Indian corporate, I'm afraid. I'd love them to do some small capacity bikes. There's a comment in there saying about ask if you have the ear of Indian corporate, ask them to work on some smaller capacity bikes. I'd like to see that, actually. I mean, they've got history of it in the past. When you look back, I think something like the Indian Brave, that was a short-lived bike, would work quite well for Europe at least, and also probably the rest of the world market. But who knows? They might be working on something already. I don't know. I just work at a dealership. I have not a lot more information than you guys do, I'm afraid.
It's funny because somebody who knows what Indian's putting out, or he's asking for the smaller bike, and everybody else is talking about the Scout 60 for like Lawson, saying that's their tiny bike and it's not keeping up. It's destroying most of the other companies' bikes at that range. So it's definitely not, and it carries my fat ass around at 100 miles an hour without a problem in Mexico. Before Meatball corrects me.
Well, you're so close to the border, so you're so close to the border.
I was going kilometers.
Yeah.
I never speed.
Oh, you know what cracked me up is we were cruising back from OC today at like 85 miles an hour with all the cars going 85 miles an hour and a highway patrol and a Harley going by us at like 90, and he's weaving in and out of traffic. And it made me think of you guys when you came down, and I was like, they're probably shitting themselves right now. This is just going on by, and Bobber's cranked at like 4,700 RPMs is going.
Yeah.
Open Road has just said an Indian 500cc single to compete with a Royal Enfield. I think that would be cool, but I think price-wise, the thing with Enfield is, although they're the new bikes, especially the twins, the 650 twins that have just come out this year, they were actually developed. Like the R&D and everything was done in the UK. It's the first bike in 50 odd years that they've brought it back to the UK, and they've opened up a UK plant just down the road from me, actually about 40 miles down the road, where they've nicked a lot of Triumph guys, and they've done all the R&D to create this twin, this parallel twin. But the bikes are still made in India, so I think if Indian are going to do any small capacity bikes, they'll probably have to outsource the manufacture of those smaller bikes to somewhere else in the globe in order to be competitive. I think they'll strive to keep it American made, 100%.
Motor Barista made a good point for him in Australia, saying the first 2 to 3 years, your first license, you're not riding any Indian due to the power or CCs or however they measure it.
That's wild. That sucks.
Is it the same now, right? In the UK, Des? Or is it similar?
The way the licensing works in the UK is you do a thing called a CBT, which is compulsory bike test. It's a 1-day course, and you can ride a 125cc bike with learner plates for up to 2 years, and you've got that time to take your full test, or you have to retake the CBT. Now, at 16, you can do a CBT and ride a 50cc. At 17, you can do a CBT and ride a 125. At 19 is the first time you can actually get a big bike. You still have to go through a theory test, a mod 1 and a mod 2. A mod 1 is basically your off-road maneuvers where you're doing sort of swerve tests, figure of 8, and emergency stops and that sort of thing. And your mod 2 is your on-road bike training and situation awareness. At 19, you can get a full-size bike, but it has to be restricted in power. So I think I'm right in saying the Scout is too powerful to be restricted to that particular power, but the Scout 60, you can have a Scout 60 at 19, but it has to be the restricted power version of it. So it is, I think realistically you've got to be 24 or have passed your A2 license, which is your restricted license, and ridden for 2 years, and then done your full license to get any other Scout that isn't restricted in power, any other Indian. It's weird the way the UK works. It makes it so difficult for people to get on the motorcycles these days.
Dude, in Alabama, in the US, I can go buy a bike off Craigslist right now and just hop on it and ride it as long as I got a driver's license. It's awful.
Yeah, I did it with the bobber, and that first day scared the shit out of me. I had a permit, and that was it.
Like, I wish it was mandatory to at least have the M endorsement to know the rules and the theory behind it. But at least, because that's not even required. So, in my state.
My state, I think if you're under 18, you have to take it, but it's cheaper.
Okay, that might be a rule actually. You have to be if you're under.
Motor Barista is saying power to weight ratio in Australia. You know what's funny is when you're talking about the bike being restricted, I saw a video for the Vulcan 650 for Bombshell's bike, and he was like, "This is how you take off the restriction." And when he said that, I thought her bike was restricted. I almost lost my fucking mind because I hauled ass on that bike. There's something that's restricted. I got to take it off. I got to feel what this bike really has, because if it's got all that power, and then I finally. There was a small thing that said, not in America. And I went, oh, okay, we have all the power. All right, I'll take that. And scene. What?
Yeah, just reading the Motor Baristas thing about Australia, where there's no matter what age, you've got a test for learners, and you've got to wait 6 months for your first license, and then a test for open license 2 to 3 years later. Similar sort of thing. I mean, if you're 24 and over in the UK, you can go for what's called a direct access, but you still got to do CBT, theory test, mod 1, mod 2 on a big bike, and all of that costs around about anywhere between £800 and £1,000 to do. So it's not a cheap thing at all, and it is putting a lot of people off. It's almost as though they're trying to legislate motorcycles off the road, trying to make it as difficult as possible for new people to start riding bikes.
Which makes sense for a government.
It's just, yeah, I suppose to some degree, but I mean, when you're a small island like we are, and you're as congested with traffic as we are, you know, getting people on bikes seems a logical way of easing congestion. I think it's quite a cynical move by the governments to try and stop people riding two-wheel bikes. Even if it's, restrict capacities, unless people do certain tests. But to make it as difficult as they are for people to get bikes over 125 that actually can go on the highways and not be dangerous on a highway. You need at least sort of 500-600cc bike to be safe on a highway. I think it's a cynical move that they're just trying to legislate us off the road. But that might be a topic for another day. It's 6:30 in the morning. I've had about 2 hours sleep since coming in from the pub, so I'm probably not in the right frame of mind to talk about that right now.
It's interesting.
That's interesting. That's very interesting, man. I guess you guys aren't riding H2s over there.
No.
I'm not, because they're so bloody expensive and pretty pointless for the UK because you can't go anywhere at that sort of speed because there's too many speed cameras everywhere. I've seen a few H2s at bike events, sort of bike nights and that, but you can tell that it's just a show thing. It's a top trumps game. You know, they turn up and, you know, look what I've got. I've got this supercharged motorcycle with 240 horsepower, and you think, where do you actually use half of that? Where we're riding, you know, even the country roads where a lot of them used to be sort of 60 mile an hour single track country roads where people used to bomb down. Even a lot of them now, they've got average speed cameras on 50 mile an hour routes. So,
you know,
units.
Yeah. Well, see where I am, man. You could open all of that up. Not all of it, but I'm sure you could easily get to like 180 pretty quick, and probably ride that for a couple of seconds. But what's that? Somebody asked, the ultimate goal of the government is to completely remove independent private transportation. See, I always wondered about that. If the government really, as far as, let's just keep it in motorcycles, if the government really wanted us to not ride or drive fast, why don't they just mandate speeds of 80 miles an hour or 60 miles an hour where the car can't go but that fast?
To some degree, that was what was sort of happening in the late 90s with the Japanese companies, because you had the Kawasaki ZZR1100 or ZXR in the States. Then the Honda Blackbird came out, and then the Hayabusa, and at that point they're all like, "Well, hang on, we need to sort of self-regulate the maximum," because it was chasing the fastest bike in the world. You'll find now that nobody claims it's got the top speed. It's always, you know, to do with the power and torque and the lightness. But in the 90s, it was all about this is the fastest production bike in the world. And it got to a stage, you know, where you sort of getting 180 odd mile an hour, that they sort of had a gentleman's agreement between all of them. You know, we're going to purposely stop all that and restrict ourselves before the government step in and do it for us, because it would be a lot more draconian if they do.
Well, I think that'd be a smart play. But going back, 80s, 90s, you had all the stuff with Mustangs going to 4 cylinders because of all the restrictions and everybody trying to bring down horsepower. So they've done this before. If you think about early 90s vans, late 80s, they had the tack only went to 80 miles an hour. You know, stuff that wasn't safe, that you get in one of those old Ford vans and it's 80. But now my truck says 140, but the governor kicks in at 98. So they just want to let you think you can go that fast. But then again, my Malibu went 130, so they kind of don't give a shit anymore.
Jesus. Oh, you tested that out in Mexico?
Sure.
Sure.
It was a 4-door silver Malibu 2016, and it just, nobody would have known. It was just going, I was going the freeway speeds. I had to keep up with the rest of the traffic.
Okay. So, so everybody here, who's all testing the Challenger next?
As soon as it shows up at my dealer.
Yes, sir.
It's probably going to be spring 2020 by the time I get my hands on one to actually ride. I think we've got one coming to the dealership in January, February, but I very much doubt that the conditions will be right for a test ride in the UK in January, February.
Dazzle, come stay at my place. We'll go to the Long Beach show together.
And yes, definitely.
Well, I think I can be safe to say that I will have the first Challenger video test ride up before anybody else.
I think
Yep.
you're gonna try to beat Adam Sandoval there.
It's coming out.
He hasn't
Coming out at
played
5 p.m. Unless he does it in 3 hours.
That shit's going. He's gonna have it up in an hour and a half, and then have like
It's like he's watching it right now.
Hey, maybe he is. He subbed to you.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. He's been doing that a lot lately, though.
He was doing a lot to the Bring It Home guys, Oki and a few other guys.
I saw. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, unless he plans on getting it out before 5 a.m. Central Standard Time, he ain't gonna get it.
Since yeah. Okay.
But I think you guys will enjoy it, though.
I'm excited. Meatball, are you actually gonna go test ride it?
When it's around, I'll test ride it.
I was talking to Redbeard. I think he said they're gonna have one in a few weeks.
December, I think.
He said to sell in December, but he's thinking the demo should be in a few weeks. Yeah, I had a guy earlier that was upset California's not getting them. I was like, well, the demo rides are there. You just have to look for the demo rides because they're registered in Minnesota.
Wait, California's not getting the child? Wait, what do you mean?
December. That we will get it legally just to buy in December.
I was like, what?
Yeah, that sounds like they're everywhere out here. I mean, Carrie Hart's got his, and
Oh yeah, that was
everything
the
else.
part. That was stupid because that's where they did the damn press ride. That was stupid. Okay.
That is interesting. Chuckster pointed out Indian OC had 10 FTRs still in crates 2 months before they were released because Indian held back on the final firmware updates.
Yo, the guy that had the demo, that had the Challenger on the demo truck for me, he said he had an FTR on the truck for 2 months.
Fuck. Just sitting there.
Yeah, and he asked me to give like a statement on how I thought the bike, how the whole event was and how the Challenger was. And I just said, like, it was good. It was, delivered or whatever. Everything was good about it. But I told him, I was like, I'm glad that Indian announced the bike and allowed us to ride it the very next day instead of telling us about it, hyping us up for months. And then we had to wait 6, 7, 8 months just to touch it.
That was killer.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was like, oh, that's the first time I heard that. I agree with that. Yeah. So.
Well, everybody was like, where's the unicorn? Where's the unicorn? We can't. All right, it's gone. I don't care if it comes back.
Pretty much.
The only good thing for me is I knew I didn't want the FTR. It wasn't my style. I wasn't getting rid of the bobber, but that's why when it came out, I was like, all right, cool. Now I'll ride it.
I didn't think that shit either, and now my mind just doesn't know what's going on.
I loved riding it. It
didn't tickle my fancy as much either. I loved riding it though.
It's not my day to day, and it's not my position style. So I love my little mini apes and bobber. I can flat foot and not fall over on.
Like all I can think about.
I see you chuckling down there.
Well,
damn, I could
not like
spin.
No, I still haven't ridden a real sport bike.
What?
I've only been riding for like a year and a half.
Man, you haven't been like, you never got on one and just gave it the beans and you like, shit, I'm at 160 miles an hour. Holy shit, I gotta get out of this.
It hasn't been an option. I've only done 130 kilometers on the bobber. So.
Oh man. Dude, my first sports bike experience, I got on, rode it like I normally would, and I looked down, I was doing a $130. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Because it doesn't feel like you're going that fast. I know it sounds crazy, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't. So
my roommate buddies got a couple Ducatis, and they sent him videos that hitting 195. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
I've never been that fast on one, but I have been up to right at 170 on one before, and it's a whole different experience.
I mean,
like you're in that tough position, and everything's just coming at you like everything's just like your life is just like so everything's just going past you super fast.
I'd have to find some big open stretch because I've done 125 racing a Charger RT and just going, and all of a sudden dead wall of traffic, and I've had to hit the side of the road and just until I could slow down to get back into traffic. And it was one of those, and this is how I go. Oh, hey, look, open spot, and I'm alive. Whew.
Open Roader says challenge video for all. Why do you not ride a sports bike? Because I almost killed myself on one before, so that's why I don't ride one.
I just don't float my bike. I've ridden lots of sports bikes. It's just the riding position. They make absolute sense on the track, but you know, when you're riding around Nottingham, in the UK, there's plenty of people who do, but it's just not my thing. I've always preferred naked bikes and cruisers. They've always been more my thing.
I grew up with my dad with Harleys. I was always, that's all it was. I mean, I want to go play with some sport bikes, but I don't need to own one.
Mm.
Brandon, you can't be a Booster bro. We're going to be bagger bros.
Bagger Bros.
Bagger bros. Oh, my. Did you guys watch Adam's video? You guys did, right? The Brim bro? Yeah. He was saying Brim bro.
Yeah, Brim bro.
Instead of Brimbo. The whole time I'm like, what the fuck is he saying?
What the fuck is a Brim bro?
People lit him up in the comments. They're like, you know how you can find a bagger bro? With his
Brim bro
brakes?
It's Brim bro. You know, somebody got me for I said I didn't say excited, I said exited or something.
Oh Jesus.
On the comment, but when I do the voiceover, I try to like not mess up. And I guess I said I said it and I guess I slurred my voice or something and I said yeah, they'll get you, man.
I like the guy talking shit that you said the wrong color. And then
oh my god.
Then when he typed it out, he put Chalkenger. And he didn't do L, and I was like, this is just fucked up.
My girlfriend was gonna jump on there and be like, "You didn't even spell Challenger right. At least you're supposed to be professional. At least learn how to spell." I was like, "Don't even do it."
I loved your unsubscribe. Get your fucking shit out of here. I was like,
dude,
yes.
I've only done it a handful of times, but I was like, "You're really giving me shit about a fucking color name." Yeah. There's no other bike. You know, if you want bronze, it's bronze.
There's Chuckster. It's Sandstorm, Brandon.
Right. It's Sandstorm. Yeah.
I knew it wasn't the other one. I just, when it first came out, I didn't know the name of the color.
Yeah. So, and then he goes into like, you're a professional, and if you do YouTube, you should know these things. I was like, dude, well, get on this fucking thing. You do it your fucking self. Show us, do it better.
When he said the words professional and YouTuber together, I just fucking lost my shit.
Like, what the? I was like, you know what, man? You know what? I'm about to catch this block. Like, just block, make you a new account, and just come back and we'll try this again. I'm not doing you tonight, man. I was like, this is stupid. Like, the roguelike comments been a lot better than me dealing with that. It's because somebody's actually trying to give you a critique and then telling you, like, this is what you should be doing. But whatever. That's my shit show for tonight.
Ooh.
But you can't please everybody.
Never. Ridiculous.
Well.
A pickle rig!
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was
oh God.
Was that? Oh, okay. I was like, what the? Oh man.
I got a Pickle Rick notebook over there.
One of the comments I had recently, I thought it was so. I'm like, dude, did you even try? Just bad, boring, bad video. Cool.
Yeah, boring, just bad video.
Thanks, asshole. Hey, I'll take your advice and throw it out the fucking window because the comment before that got me was that I was an idiot. So cool, man. Thanks for staying notified with the bell so you can get my dislike when the video comes out.
I should make a video just off of reading negative comments about the Indian Challenger. That's what I should do. I should make a video off of that.
That'd be
There you
good.
go. Get that going
Reading,
now.
Like
Just
when
read-
professionals read nasty
yeah,
comments.
just read
Or
the dumb shit.
actors.
Oh, Knox is here. It's about time he showed up.
There you
I don't even want to read this.
go.
Like, this is a very racist comment, actually.
I fucking hate those people. Man.
Somebody said political incorrect. They're called Native Americans ignorant white. I just put few. I just put who. Like, whoa, okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I've gotten a lot worse comments than this guy.
Throw up the
Here.
siren emoji and PC and then another siren. I'm like, there you go. PC police are in the house.
Somebody said sad roguelike copy with the hideous headlight, with the hideous Cyclops headlight.
It's got 3 headlights. They can fuck off.
Yeah. Somebody said it looks like a fat roguelike. Good thing it performs. Someone said Hope Harley. That's what God said. Hope Harley sues their ass off for copying the roguelike.
That cracked me up. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, you do know, I think, what is 10, 30% some bullshit you have to change it if you really wanted to fuck with people? Not that much.
Somebody said replica of roguelike. There's a lot of it in there, man. Somebody said it ain't no roguelike for sure. I could go all day with this. Then there are some that's just like the other one that just got just downright just disgusting. So, like I said, it don't bother me, man.
What's the one dude told you to keep your turd?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy.
Keep your turd. I'm like, does it just suck being you?
Dude, I get some shit comments, man.
Is it the glitter turd one?
There's like one guy going on all the videos and hating. Then there's one guy going on and asking why Indian doesn't carry XM radio. On every video I've seen, I've found his comment. Please tell me why Indian doesn't have XM radio, but all their competitors do. I was like, dude, I didn't even think about it until you said it. I didn't get it.
I don't know. They just don't.
Who even has XM radio? Is that a thing now still?
Harley has it, but I never, like, my dad's Harley had it the fucking 2 months he had the damn bike, and I didn't use the damn thing.
Naive guy over here. What is XM radio? I seriously don't know.
Oh, satellite radio.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which I love it in my truck, but I called him up and I was like, hey, I don't want this anymore. They're like, why? I was like, it's expensive. They're like, what if we give it to you for like $7 a month instead of $20? I went, I guess I could keep it. And I was like, pretty much every time you call, if you complain, they'll give you a cheaper price. But other than that, I just don't give it. Like, I liked it going to Texas. So that way I had it going to Texas. But other than that, I got 4,000 songs on my phone. I don't really give a shit. I don't have to listen to shitty tacos. I can listen to my podcast. Ooh. Oh, man. It's been a long day.
Yeah, see, Chuckster says Spotify. Yeah, that was the biggest blunder I hated about the Challenger, is that it doesn't have freaking Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I think that could have been something simple to add, but
it might be something. You think it's something working with the brand though? Getting with the other companies?
It very well could be. I was about to say I don't know the licensing terms and nothing like that, but as far as I think it would be more beneficial to put that on the bike, maybe, because it's not that many people that still have flip phones, but
they're probably really going into how good their ride command is, and they're trying to just go behind that 110%. They're like, we got the maps, we have your stuff handled. You shouldn't worry about anything else.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. The maps work fine, and the Bluetooth audio works well, but it's just Spotify and Waze and Google Maps. Like when you plug that phone up and it just beams all your data up to the bike, and that's it.
I had it in 2 of my cars. It was nice. I don't know why my truck doesn't have it.
Yeah, I will say that's what I love about the Road Glide is it does have CarPlay, and also the Go Wing. They have that they don't have Android Auto, but they do have CarPlay.
I do have a question for you though, guys. In the UK, we use zip codes a lot.
Now, is that just for the UK? Does it work better in the States, do you think?
Well, this is what I don't know. Do you guys really use zip codes a lot to find places, or do you tend to?
I start with the address.
We start the address here.
Yeah,
so that might be.
It'll start filling in. I can get like five numbers and a street deep, and it'll pop up with my house. Yeah,
that's probably why they've not really thought much about us in Blighty. That's probably the biggest criticism people here have with the ride command system is we tend to, if we're going anywhere and we're using the sat nav, the first thing we do is put in the postcode, or the zip code.
I'm gonna try to go mess with it and see.
Yeah, but if that's not a way that you guys sort of work in the States, it's probably why they've not really sort of thought much about doing it.
Even in cars, I've never done the zip code first. I've always started with the street. But that's the only thing I could think it would be. What the fuck? Oh man. Yep.
What else we got to chat about?
I was thinking the same thing.
Y'all got any questions for us?
Let's get. Let's see. Invictus was talking about. I mean, somebody answered it, but yeah, it has Bluetooth audio. Okay. Yeah, I don't have anything.
That might be it then.
I think it was just a long day for me. I'm surprised this is a shorter one for us.
Yeah, 91 minutes.
I don't mind staying on if people want to jump off and Invictus and Chris want words, or if we all want to end it. Like, I don't want to let it go either. How's the tattoo coming?
Get me a nappy in and wake up and take in all the bullshit comments that I got coming in at 5:30.
Is it going up? Okay, so your video is going up at 5:30?
Yeah, it's already uploaded. It goes live at 5. I'm still adding the description and like that, but it goes live at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time. So that's 3.
Well, I'm excited to fucking see it, but I'm not excited enough to stay up for 3 hours, buddy.
No.
I'll see that shit when I wake up at 6.
Where it'll be up when people wake up type deal.
Well, while you're getting ready for bed, Truckster dropped a video while we were doing this, so
we
can watch Truckster's video. Oh yeah,
let's critique him on the camera. Let's do.
Ozzy did one as well, just 2 minutes before Chuckster. So,
ooh, I'm excited to see Chucksters.
Yeah, it was in the Indian uploaded Weekend Mystery Ride with the Girls, 2 minutes before Chuckster. So I think there's 2 videos to go and watch.
Hold on, I think
there's a little cheese with that one. All right, I'm automatically cutting this off because he's riding a Harley.
So I think if you guys are down, I think there's a way we can watch it on here. I don't know. I can try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, everybody has to go like it afterwards for Chuck.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm liking it already.
All right. I'm gonna try this. No promises.
This would be dope if it works.
Let's see.
I can stay on for another 12 minutes.
Just while you're doing that, AK310. I'm pretty sure the saddlebags. In the spec, I'm pretty sure it says it's got 68 litres worth of luggage storage.
All right.
The Challenger. Anyone else collaborate that?
Screen sharing is easy as T-line. Screen sharing works best in computer. Some screen sharing auto the Chrome tab works best. Okay. All right. Bear with me here. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Chrome tab. Me and Challenger. Share. Oh, do I have to click audio too? What the fuck?
Oh shit!
I'm trying. Let's see. Hold on. I didn't click the share audio button.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's just check. Oh yeah, he is still on. I was like, is he even still fucking on here?
All right,
But he is.
I hope he's on there for this. Okay,
Yeah, he is.
Tab. So is it it's showing up right now?
Yes.
It will. Yeah, there you go. It'll pop up.
Long time no see.
Can you get?
Yep.
Can everybody hear it?
Video passing Indian
Alright.
motorcycles. I'd love to say it's not full of crap, but he kind of is. Anyways, I'm going to roll that intro. You hit that subscribe button while that intro is rolling,
I can say this about
and
the
I
Harley
will be
Davidson.
right back after I get through this traffic. So,
We are Robbie
I'm going to put a little link
Yeah, we
to this
are,
Matt
actually.
Laidlaw video right here.
I actually gotta roll
If you guys want to, go ahead and pause this and watch that video. At least as much of it as you can. I could only get through about, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes of it before I was just ill, which sucks because I kind of liked Matt Laidlaw stuff, but this video kind of turned me off of him a little bit. So anyways, pause this video, go watch that video. All right. So you've had your fill of listening to Matt Laidlaw whine about Indian motorcycles and how Indian's new Challenger is a ripoff of the Road Glide. Well, I got a couple things to say about that. Just a couple of things. First of them being, I love how he goes into Indian's advertising, right? There's since 1901 stuff. Talks about how they haven't been in continuous production, so it's disingenuous for them to say that they're the world's it's disingenuous for them to say since 1901, since straight up Indian hasn't been manufacturing motorcycles since 1901. There's been a few breaks in there, and their marketing material says that. Okay, but in that vein, I'll tell you what is disingenuous. Is Harley Davidson claiming to be the first Indian or American motorcycle company? They have it on their gear. They have it on their parts. There's a whole line of Harley Davidson parts with a number 1 on it, claiming that they were the first American motorcycle manufacturer, when obviously they weren't. If Indian was manufacturing motorcycles in 1901 and Harley Davidson didn't get started until 1903 or 4. One of those two, right? So who's really lying in their marketing materials? Kind of both of them. But it's kind of the pot calling the kettle black, right? So you can't really pick on that Matt Laidlaw because Harley Davidson does the same fucking thing. It's not that deep. Oh, Porsche dude wants to go, and I lose. And I lost bad. Wish I still had my sport bike. Quite honestly, the other thing he mentions about how the Davidson family is still involved in Harley Davidson, I'd be kind of curious to know what exactly they do for Harley Davidson other than lend their name to promotional stuff. Because I don't think they do a whole lot. And you still lose, Ferrari. Right, so you say the Davidsons are still involved. Well, how are they involved? Tell me how they are involved, because I don't get it. I don't see it. After he gets done complaining about Indian and Polaris as a company, he gets into actually bashing on the Challenger, saying it's a complete Road Glide ripoff. You know what? in silhouette, they pretty much look identical. You know what else looks identical in silhouette? Every single sport bike ever made. Well, not ever made, but any modern sport bike, you take an R6, a Gixxer, and a fucking ZX6R, put them in silhouette right next to each other. You really got to know your shit to be able to tell them apart.
Yeah, you do.
They pretty much look the same. Why is that, you may ask? Well, here is why. Because aerodynamics is aerodynamics. Harley Davidson does not get special aerodynamics because they're Harley Davidson. Okay? Harley Davidson gets the same aerodynamics that everybody else gets. It's just the way it is. And you can complain that it looks like the Road Glide. You're probably right. It does look like a Road Glide in the dark. Same as my last girlfriend looked like a supermodel in the dark. My other question about this is, if it's such a ripoff, how come it has such better tech than the fucking Road Glide? Why? Water-cooled engine, inverted front suspension, Brembo brakes, big-ass floating rotors, both front and back. Why? Better infotainment. Everybody knows that Harley or Indian's infotainment system rocks the shit out of Harley Davidson's infotainment system. It doesn't take a half hour to boot up like Harley Davidson's does. It's just that simple. It's more responsive. It switches screens quicker. It responds to button presses quicker. Indian's is just quicker and better. So why? If it's such a ripoff, why is Indian so much better and priced the same? I'll tell you why. Because Harley has gotten lazy and they felt like they had a lock on that market.
Nope.
And now they're losing it. And it is absolutely just that simple. Seems to me, tone of that whole video, Matt Laidlaw's a little butthurt. Indian's doing performance baggers better than Harley Davidson does, which is not surprising. Indian came out doing their little bikes better than Harley's sports. Sorry,
That wasn't
Harley,
hard.
you sat back, you rested on your laurels, and now your competition is outclassing you. It's just that simple. It's just how it is. You shouldn't have fallen back. You should have been an innovator. Now, maybe that Indian's around, it'll force you to be an innovator. I don't know. Maybe you should take that to heart. What's the other thing he complained about? He complained about, Harley was the first ones to black out their bikes. Sorry, Harley, you weren't the first ones to black out their bikes.
Stupid.
People have been blacking out their own bikes since the motorcycles have been around. Pretty sure the Army blacked out a few during World War II, and they were probably Indians, so don't know where you're getting your info from there, homie. You're just the one that sold the bike already pre-blacked out, which you can't really take credit for because you kind of ripped that off builders. So, again, pot, kettle, black. Anyways, I'm going to come up here and get a coffee or a Monster, and I'll catch back up to you guys when I'm done. Peace. Also, Matt, just a little heads up. Harley Davidson wasn't the first ones to make aftermarket parts for their own bikes. People have been making aftermarket parts for their own bikes probably since motorcycles came out. So it's not really a criticism either. Harley's not that innovative. Hate to break it to you. It's just the way it is. But when you do a roast, it's supposed to be funny. You weren't funny. You were just whining. Quit fucking whining. Okay? If you don't want Indian coming out with better products than you do, fucking talk to Harley Davidson and have them start innovating. The beach. All the smoke from all the fires in all of SoCal. Now, I'm not fanboying out. I ride a Harley. I'm just not brand loyal. Like, I'll go to whatever brand gives me what I want. Currently, as of right this second, Harley Davidson has given me what I want in a motorcycle, for the most part. It doesn't check all the boxes, but it checks more of the boxes than any other bike.
Right.
It's just that simple. This new Challenger, if it's checking all the boxes, plus some boxes that people didn't even know are out there, then Harley Davidson, you got problems. You should have been all over this. Inverted forks have been out for how long now, and you still don't have them except in like 3 of your bikes? Come on now. You can't really get all pissy because another fucking manufacturer decided that they were going to actually innovate in the cruiser space, and now you're having to catch up. Sorry, it's not how things work. Well, I mean, you can bitch. You're just going to come off like a whiny little bitch. Pretty much how that video came off. Just my opinion, though. Sad part is I actually enjoy Matt Laidlaw's channel up until that video. Which is sad, but I mean, tastes change, I guess. I don't know. I always thought he did nice, fun, informative videos loaded with facts. This video is just loaded with assumptions and bashing, and I'm not about bashing competitors, okay, right? The easiest way to beat a competitor is to be successful. That's the best way to do it. If you're not going to do that, then shut up and quit your fucking bitching. It's very unbecoming of somebody to bitch about a competitor that's beating them. It's like the second place person crying at the finish line. No, so-and-so stole my training technique. Well, maybe you should have developed better techniques. Anyways, YouTube, that's going to just about wrap this one up. If you like what you saw, hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And I will catch you guys later. Peace.
Yeah. I was liking the video, so I had to come back to give my claps.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Very well done. I'm glad you said it and not me, because I'm just staying out of it. But
Nice guy.
if anybody was going to run his mouth the way I wanted to run my mouth, Chuckster, you nailed it.
Yeah, I think that was pretty nailed.
So like I said, anybody who watched this, please go actually click on his video and give him a like and all that fun stuff, so we don't steal his views.
Yeah, I think mine is about to be. Yep, mine just finished actually. So I did subliminal digs. I didn't directly call them out.
No, the people in your comments were going ahead and pulling that out for you.
I'm not about that life.
That's why as soon as Chuckster said he was making one in the comments earlier, I was like, oh, I got to watch this shit tomorrow.
Right.
Gold. And it's all there. I want to make a spoof video with him with the new sport bike and the Ducati and all the other bikes that they're just copying, and finally getting there years later after Harley shut their own self down. Listening to everybody saying the V-Rod wasn't a Harley and that's not what Harley's about, and they just went, okay, we'll go back in our hole, guys, and keep giving you the same fucking bikes every year. As long as you keep spending the money. I think a lot of guys have kind of like dying off, and that's where Harley's finally like, hey, I think we can come out.
We got a problem here, guys.
Yeah. All that money is going to go away. Let's get some of it back right now with a CVO trike, so those old guys can spend all the 50 grand.
Shit out of a CVO trike.
As long as I can sit on the back.
You got it.
Let's do it. That's how we were going to Sturgis right there.
Lay down some rubber. We'll tow Oki's trailer behind that thing.
Yes. He can ride his bobber and we'll take his trailer.
Mm-hmm.
We fucking, oh my god, that'd be comedy. Ooh. And a small plug, anybody who might be going to Sturgis and wants to get in on the Support MVC Discord channel, just hit me up on Instagram or hit up Dirty D's on Instagram. So it should be a fun thing. Try to make it even bigger than we already are. Anybody else? Anybody got anything new coming out they want to promote to the people?
No, I just looking at Vic Knox's comment there about the Livewire. I went to HD the other day to see because they're supposed to have it on August and then it didn't. The end of September it didn't show up. End of October didn't show up. It's $40,000 Canadian for that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's smart. No.
Fuck off.
It has charging issues.
What was that?
They only say it's charging.
I'm having a hard time hearing him.
Yeah, I don't even know who's talking.
It's Meatball.
Damn it, Meatball. Speak up.
Say it with your chest.
There it is.
So the Livewire only charges the dealers. Stop selling.
I thought they brought it back though, didn't they?
I don't know if they fixed it yet.
I saw something like a week ago that they had brought it. I think it was like a week ago that they stopped, and they didn't stop, but they put it on hold, and then they were like, okay, everything's okay.
Yeah.
And that's totally what you want after they've been building a bike for 6+ years. And then they're going to charge more money than the other electric bikes on the market that get better mileage. Inventive.
Yeah, I don't know, man. They got to figure that shit out.
Oh, Jay, while I have you.
Yeah. You have me all right.
Did you get that clip for me and Meatball so I can put that video out?
Which one?
The one where I'm going excess speed.
Oh, yeah. How do I send that to you?
On Google. I'll send you a link to my thing so you should be able to just upload it there.
It'll happen tomorrow.
Cool.
Sweet. All right.
Yes. I want pool video too on your channel.
I know I've actually been getting a lot of flack from guys about not getting these Cali videos out, and I don't have an excuse other than just been busy working and writing and doing other fun shit.
That's a good excuse.
So I do need to get out.
Okay, so last comment before we go to bed. High Desert's asking if we're going to talk about the Pan America. Anybody have any thoughts on the Pan America?
It's ugly.
I'm still gonna ride it.
I want to ride it. I'll ride just about any fucking bike out there. So
yeah,
I want to see Harley Davidson succeed, man.
Yeah.
I'm not hoping. I don't want them to go down. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not saying that, but I'm just like, I want people to think that from us.
Oh, I'm all for it. My dad's got his Harley, and it's super fucking comfortable, and I want both brands to succeed because the more they do, the more we get pushed and back and forth.
I personally want to own one of those customs. I really like those customs.
That is a beaut. I didn't really get into it till now until you mentioned that. I looked them up while you guys were talking. Those customs, I like that.
Yeah, it is gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
Like my third video I talked about, I'm like, fucking make that bike. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that being a hot seller for Harley.
Yeah. It's got like a Sportster Triumph.
Liquid cooled overhead cam, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of that whole line that they're doing with, liquid cooled motors that they invented.
Thank God they did.
Yeah. And Victor, I don't know if it actually will sell or not. It depends on where they fucking price it.
Has it actually been confirmed as a 2020 model yet?
I think the Pan America was the one confirmed for 2020. It's the whatever they're calling the Street Fighter is a 2021, unless they got both pushed to 2021.
What I mean is, have they confirmed that it's definitely?
Who knows?
Because I can't see anything on it apart. The last thing I read about it was back in August.
I think Layball had the mock-up version for that bike and the Street Fighter at their Harley event for the 2020 models that, for all their new inventive stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's got a lot of competition if it is going to be in the adventure segment.
That's a huge market for them to try to get into, and
Yeah.
that's all I've heard. People are worried about the weight because Harley hasn't really done some lightweight bikes. So
Yeah. You notice, by the way, that when I started, I was in darkness, and now the sun's come up through the clouds.
this is actually early for me. I'm surprised. I was expecting to go to bed like 2 in the morning, and it's only midnight for me, which is good because I'm fucking tired. All right. I think we're actually going to be under 2 hours for once, unless anybody's got anything.
I think I'm done. I think I'm going to go
Yep.
and catch some sleep.
Same. Well,
Get some sleep, and then we got a Picasso video to watch.
yes.
Yeah.
Hey, he's lucky it's not
thought about
uploaded right now. I would have put it on right now.
I just thought about it. It's not going to go live till 6 because of daylight savings time.
Oh, thank God for daylight savings time.
That's tomorrow,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I do
That's
Is that
now.
tonight? That's tonight.
Yeah.
So
Goes into effect here in 50 minutes.
I think we talked about it last year, and Jay, you brought up that California voted against it. They did in like 2018, but they haven't done anything with it since then.
BC's pushing it too, but they want Washington, Oregon, and whoever else is beside us to do it as well.
That's smart.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'd like to be the same time zone with Arizona just because my brother lives there, and it makes life so much easier for us.
Yeah. It's just retarded, but anyways.
But yeah, I do
Alright.
hope y'all enjoy it, man, because
Shit.
I had some audio issues, just straight up forewarned. A fucking recorder shit.
Well, you just have to go
Fuck me.
write it. You just have to go write it again. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna ride it again, definitely. But
You're gonna have 2 audience members watching this video tomorrow. HD guys punching their screen, and the rest of us with just a lotion, just watching the video very slowly and repeating it.
It was professional looking there, Jay.
What's that?
The professional there, Jay.
Is it? How come his audio is so terrible?
I have no idea.
Hey, look at him. He can hear us. He's smirking.
Well, he's been laughing his ass off at us.
Put that thing in front of your face like a human being. There you go. Closer, right? You gotta tip it right to your lips.
Right there. Right here.
No.
It works on static electricity. You got to build up the charge.
That's great.
all right, guys, I'm going to sign off.
All right.
Yeah, boys.
Thank
Thank you, everybody, for joining. Till the next one. Hopefully, we'll be in the near future with a bunch of the new faces of the Indian motorcycle world, and that should be a lot of fun. All right.
Totally.
Right, guys.
Hey, everybody.